Welcome back. This is officially season 2 of Finding Love. And we're popping it off with a little bit of the culture. What is the culture saying about dating? What's social media feeding our brains about dating? Let's get into it.
Make me feel complete. Is OD, you got me, is OD. Baby, you're all that I need. No one can be what you mean to me. Boy, I know you need this.
So I'm a comment creeper, right? So if I see something on social media, I form my opinion and then I go straight to the comments. And I'm going because I want to see the funny stuff that they say, but I'm also going because I want to make sure I'm not crazy, I'm not reaching, does other people agree with me, or to challenge myself because I'm like, ooh, I got negative thoughts about this. Let me see if I'm the one in the wrong. And one of the things that caught my attention lately was Zendaya. She just popped out with a ring. She just popped out like, with a ring. And it was a comment on X that basically was like, yeah, this is how you pop out.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is so exciting. Congratulations. I'm thinking the comments gonna say that. The comments going in. The comments are like, what make her better than everybody else because she got a ring? I was like, wait. And it just got me thinking about why we even came to do this thing.
Yeah.
Like, why we're doing Finding Love podcast in the first place.
Yeah.
And marriage is dope,
Yeah.
but it is getting such a bad rep for so many reasons.
You sent that to me, and I believe when I started reading those comments, and I'm trying to operate with as much grace as possible, I'm just seeing insecurities. That's the perspective that I had to take. I'm looking at this and I'm like, these comments have absolutely nothing to do with Zendaya, you know? And the perspective that I have is when you sent me the picture, I wasn't even looking at the comments. I was like, oh, cool, Zendaya, you know, she getting married. But then you were like, check these comments out.
Read them.
Look below, link in the bio. And so I look down, I'm like, you would not even think that this is a joyous occasion at all.
Not at all. And I think the negativity behind that was if somebody pop out with a baby, right? That's a negative.
Yeah.
If they're not married. And that misconception that you're doing something wrong or you're better than or this is the right order or any of that, I think is really daunting to our society.
Yeah.
You know, if we're talking about a religious standpoint, yes, you know, you get married and that's the order, right? You get married and you have a baby with your person. But there's joy in bringing a new life, especially if it's planned and with someone you love and with someone that you've already had these conversations about raising a child with. Why is getting the ring better than getting a baby?
And I think we can connect the two, but going back, I don't want to miss something you said. I think people are always saying, this is how you do it. And I think in today's society, a prescription for any way of life is a prescription for failure. Right? And so going back to there is where I think people get lost in the monotony, lost in the details, and they get stuck so much in trying to decipher what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, versus the real objective or the moment we're supposed to be appreciating, i.e. Zendaya's engagement, or the sanctity and the journey of marriage.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just don't understand why there's so much weight on doing things in order or doing things the right way. When it should be on learning from each and every piece of your journey of life. You know, we saw that it's with Spider-Man, right? Zendaya and Spider-Man together. How long has this relationship been going on? You know, so is that a win or is that a settlement? We don't know. Why can't we just say the ring is gorgeous? We love Zendaya. Congrats. What is this part of society that is just like, we gotta hate on something?
And I think it's just this vicious cycle that we've seen. Everybody has to be a critic versus taking a step forward towards each other, right? Not a step back, but a step forward towards each other and saying, look, can we just all operate as if we on the same team?
Right.
Can we be happy for each other?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's not enough clickbait.
Nah.
That is not enough conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like, at the end of that is just period,
Yeah.
right? There's no like ...
Right.
That also got me thinking, right? Because everybody's saying that this is the prescription.
Yeah.
This is the roadmap of how you have to do things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then everybody has their 2 cents, typically inputting their own life here, right? It's right here. No, because I did it like this,
Yeah.
I believe that this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
When you look at all these critics and you look at all these perspectives and you look at all these polarizing thoughts on how to approach a relationship today, how do we bridge the gap? Because to me, there's a tremendous gap, right?
Yes.
The gap is, and the gap is getting wider. How is the question to me? One of the questions is, if we look at the divisive nature, if somebody just simply posts a happy pic and all the negative comments, how do we bridge the gap to get people closer to each other so they can see each other and start navigating towards our ultimate goal of finding love, finding your person, right?
I think the biggest misconception, the biggest perspective that needs to shift is that you focus on what the other person provides, or you focus on what looks good to society, or you focus on what this formula is, versus focusing on you.
Yeah.
The more you look internally on what you actually want, what you actually need, what you bring to the table, what's your ick, ladies, once you know yourself in and out, you then can align yourself with someone who is a match for you.
Yeah.
Versus aligning yourself with someone who's been around the longest, who makes you feel comfortable, who, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
We have the image of a power couple, so we gonna do it.
Yeah.
Or he's always been there, so I might as well. Or she's always been there, I might as well, and that is something that I'm so glad that we're in an era of therapy.
Yeah.
We're in an era of self-help and working on yourself, but I think that once you start to mind your business and work on you, we will see so much less negativity, and we will see so many more people actually connecting.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, right? And there's a huge difference, and I think you have to acknowledge the difference between how you feel about somebody versus how they make you feel about yourself.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And you got me thinking that just there because of people just getting stuck in a vicious cycle of always being with somebody they've always been with, right? And they can sometimes be confused and hold on to the memory of, okay, how do I feel about this person? They're fun, they're charismatic, they always know how to have a good time, versus the status of how they make you feel about yourself. I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling less than, I'm feeling unloved, right? And deciphering between the two is very important, because how they make you feel about yourself is what's going to be your reality. That is going to be your experience in that relationship. And I think, going back to what you said about kind of getting stuck, being with somebody, always being with her, or her always being with him, sometimes we get stuck with how we feel about them, sometimes because of memory, based on how we have been consistently, year over year, how they've been making us feel about ourselves.
That just got me going into two different directions.
Come on.
One, a lot of times you either stick with the same person or you enter a vicious cycle of relationships with the same type of people. Because your level of comfort comes in them being providers. So now you're only dating guys with money, right? Or your level of feeling loved is in them saying how sexy you are. So you only date guys who compliment you a ton or like you to wear sexy clothes, right? Instead of really internally looking and saying, I want to feel protected. I want to feel safe. I want to feel respected. Right? So if you are seeing that every single guy or every single girl kind of falls in this same boat, It's you.
Yeah.
It's you that needs to change. It's you that needs to focus on, what do you really want?
Yeah.
You knew that this person was falling in the same categories as your last one, but this one gonna be different?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, when you're focused on you, right? And how that person makes you feel, you can see that from day one.
Yeah.
On that first date, even if you both come with your representatives, right? Even if you both come with your representatives, you will see your comfort level go from stressed to,
Yeah.
you'll see that representative slowly creep away. Because, whoa, we're having conversations that I like.
Yeah.
He's pulling back layers.
Yep.
I like the complexities of him,
Yeah.
and that feeling is not about them giving you butterflies.
Yeah.
Every first date ain't gonna be butterflies. Okay? But it is about, wow, he broke down my barriers very quickly. We had intentional, real conversation. I felt inspired. I felt sexy. All of those things go to, how does that person make you feel?
Yeah.
And if that first date, you were like, oh, when you got in the car, I can let this belly out. Oh, let me take all this weave off. Oh, I couldn't even eat. I'm still hungry. Let me eat my takeout. I don't know if that's a red flag that you would ignore.
I think that's where you can find a space. Is this going to be worth my time? And I think when you look at a few things, and you said it, where you're breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
One cheat code, ladies, is, does he become vulnerable in a space with you? And softness and vulnerability is completely different.
Yes,
okay?
guys.
That's completely different. So understanding that, and we could talk about that at a later date. But let me say all of that to say that when you're early on dating that relationship, I would not put all of my effort, all of my energy, and all of my time into somebody unless I do not see reciprocity, right? Because I think a lot of people find themselves in mistakes where they start investing in the person that they like.
Yep.
Versus investing in the person that is also investing back in themselves, right? And I think that right there is something that you always have to acknowledge, because you're going to feel that investment, you're going to feel that effort, and you're going to feel the reciprocity from your potential person where you don't have to ask them for it. They're going to pick up on those little things. They're going to pick up on if you said, you know what, I need to get my car washed, or dang, I need to get my dry cleaners done. And those are just little tidbits of somebody making those investments early on in the relationships that you should be paying attention to, versus the person that you constantly keep trying to pull your way. You can't make them be your person. You can't make them appreciate you.
Big facts.
Yeah.
That's big facts. I think another thing too, in the game of reciprocity, it made me think about how quickly our age group, right? 30s, 40s. We like, you the one.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it happen with you. Or you do one, oh boy, chew outside of that mouth crazy. One time and we is over. So it's like we put too much weight on those beginning stages of a relationship when you don't know this person. They don't know you. They're learning you. All they know is they last person. Or their last slew of people that they've dated, right? They don't know you. If you're too quick to like give up, throw in the towel, done, red flag, you might be missing out on your blessing. But also, if you're too quick to give your all and be so intentional about what you think the end goal is without getting to know that person, you may also be messing yourself up. And I think that goes into this, my next relationship is going to be my last. Without knowing who you're going to be in a relationship with, it's insane. It is insanity that this person that, maybe they check off your resume boxes. Oh, they got a good job. They own their house. Maybe they have a kid and you always wanted a kid and you can't have kids. Or they don't have kids and you want to have your own family. And you're like, boom, I'm going to make it work with this person. It's so much devastation and defeat in that because you have given your all. Yeah. You have given too much. Yeah. But I want to take it a step back and go into the conversation of, being a wife or being a husband prior to actually having that commitment. Yeah. What does that mean? I thought that it meant cooking and cleaning, right? I was like, we just gonna say, honey, But really, there's so much more that we gave to each other. Yeah. I should have been cooking. I could have cooked on the first date because I allowed you to be vulnerable and I gave you the responsibility of the protection of all of my vulnerabilities, which is wifey husband stuff. Yeah. Okay, that is not dating. Yeah. That is not early on dating stuff. We did, and that's the thing that I want to kind of get people to acknowledge. Yeah. When you give so much of yourself to someone, it is very hard for you to really see the field. It's really hard to see, their true character. It's really hard to see who they will be as a husband, as a parent, as a, provider, as a spiritual confidant, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm giving it all to you. Yeah. So you got to be right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. No. Find out first. Ask the questions. Why are they not with the last person that they were with? What are the complexities and boundaries and stress and everything from that particular breakup that you want to make sure, he said they broke up because she was always hanging out. I know I like to go out every Friday. Yeah. How we go work?
And I think you touched on it several times right there. And it's the insight into previous relationships and the complexities of those relationships or the past traumas in those relationships. Yeah. Because even like you saying that, okay, my next relationship is going to be my last one. You're already going into it without an understanding of, okay, now I'm ready to walk in my greatness. Yes. Now I'm ready to take all my learned lessons, not my losses, my learned lessons, and I'm ready to move forward and find my person. I'm ready to be the aggregate of everything I have been built to be versus, like what you said, right? Yeah. Taking all of these bad practices, all of these past difficult situations and relationships, and you're carrying it on your shoulders like a bag of bricks versus just letting them down and being able to learn from all of that, right? Yeah. And I think that was something that me and you got a little bit lucky with because when me and you might have had early on dating challenges, which it wasn't many, because I think like so many, we go into this thing like, well, just in case it don't work, right? Yeah. And we were looking for any reason to say, okay, maybe it's not going to work, but everything about us felt like the other person was investing in us, felt like the other person was worth it, right? And so I think that being able to step into that serious relationship, or not, let's not go there yet, step into dating as if you are the best version of yourself versus he better not be like the other ones, or she gonna be like every other one, right? Yep. Let's give it a fair shot, and let's give ourselves a fair shake when we want to let's just continue on our next stage of life, right? Because it's the next.
Absolutely. I also think that anybody who is saying, my next relationship is gonna be my last, right? They are falling in love with the idea of marriage and not actually taking into account what it takes to be married for real in a real loving relationship and to have longevity in that relationship, because you can't make it work forever with everybody. No. I don't care how cool y'all are. It don't matter. I don't care how much you have in common. Yeah. Oh, we both like to write poetry and watch movies. Okay, how long that's gonna last? Because guess what? In 10 years, I don't do that no more. I actually like to paint, but he's still writing poetry.
Yeah.
And I knew from the beginning we weren't compatible for real anyway.
Yeah.
We through. We're done.
Yeah.
And I think that being very intentional about what is going to fulfill you and knowing what questions to ask in order to make sure that this person can provide what will fulfill you.
Yeah.
Year after year, decade after decade, that's a part of dating and intentionality that should be said. Not in, I just dated so many people, or I'm getting to that age, or he's checking all of the boxes, so I'm gonna make this work.
Yeah.
Be intentional with the questions that you're asking during dating. And the questions are not, and I've said this before, so you trying to get married? You know, you can't hit them like, what's the girl from Flavor Flav? She said, I'm trying to get my eggs cracked.
Oh.
Okay, ma'am.
She would have lost me with that one.
It's gone. But do you want children?
Yeah.
If I know I'm trying to get my eggs cracked,
Right. Yeah.
I need to know if you want children.
Yeah.
And how soon. And how many. And how we gonna raise them up?
Yeah.
What are the values you want to instill in them?
Yeah.
Will we go to church?
Yeah.
Will we, save for their college funds, or do we not believe in college? We in a different world. You got to ask some questions.
You do.
So it's like being intentional about how you're going to date this particular person is not the battle. The battle is being intentional about who you are and what you need and what answers you need to get asked. What questions you need to get answered in the dating scene.
And questions and answers are so essential because essentially that's how we're going to communicate anyway.
Yeah.
But stepping back to what you said, fulfillment. Fulfillment in the relationship. That takes me to a constant debate of should a relationship be 50-50? And that's bull. To me, that is absolute bull because this is the true test of a relationship. Because it's not 50-50. Because if you're doing that, to me, you're constantly analyzing yourself and you're analyzing your partner and the efforts that are being put in day after day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. And that right there is just a recipe for disaster. The real test of the relationship is if you just don't have it today. If I see you on a 20, am I gonna pick up the other 80? Those are the deficiencies in moments in a relationship to see if the relationship is really worthwhile. Will the other partner step up? When I step in the door and you just see it on me, or this is also important too, that I communicate to you that I said, babe, today was a rough day. You engage and you got to pick it up. And you realize and say, today I'm coming with 90. Right? And I think that is the real conversation that has to be around the relationship. Because when you early on dating and having fun and dating and traveling and going out to eat, seeing where somebody is deficient in a moment or in a season, that is going to be the telltale as if this relationship can work. Because I need to be able to show up for you, and I need to trust and believe you're going to show up for me.
I need a notepad, because I feel like you just took me in two different directions again.
I'm trying to just listen to you.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dang. Because listen, I think that one of the biggest things that I had to overcome in marriage was giving myself a grade. I was like, I'm an F as a wife, C+ as a parent, but I am a B in business. I might be an A-, so is that balancing out? Dang, I'm still failing, Or I was given point systems. I was like, all right. I woke up all throughout the night with the baby. I didn't get any sleep. I still cooked. I still cleaned. What you do today? I couldn't see. Well, he supported me. He still, was pleasant. He still told me I was beautiful. All things I still needed, but it wasn't a part of the task list. He wasn't checking off enough tasks for me. So it was like, and I was like, okay, wait. Let's sit back and you're not in school, right? You will have good days. You will have bad days. You will have I have some superhuman days where I can gourmet breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a snack for everybody separately, have 10 phone calls, clean up the house, wash clothes, and get down and dirty at night. And I go to sleep like, Ooh, I did that. But baby, that next day.
Yeah.
That superhero cape got burned overnight because I was tired, you know? And I believe that once you say, we are a partnership, we are 100 together, we are one, the points go away, the pressures of the grades go away, and you can truly live.
Yeah.
We truly live with each other. You know, we're experiencing life, all of the good and bad and the ugly together, and it's beautiful. And the moment you can kind of get out of your own way with your little tally, because I had me, mine might have been written down because I'm a writer, okay? He ain't doing nothing today. You know, once you get rid of that, you can really truly experience that person.
Well, I think that's part of having the supreme confidence that you have a team that you know that you are going to win. And I think you have to go into the relationship understanding that this is going to be a team player.
Yeah.
You're going to be a team player. And that when you guys are together, you guys are just so much better. And you guys can conquer anything, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah.
I just thought about what you said.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Bring it on back. Bring it on back.
So you said if you walk in the house and, you know, you say I had a rough day.
Yeah.
And you know you got about 10, 20, and I know you got about 10, 20, and I pick it up.
Yeah.
That's marriage stuff.
Yeah.
That's marriage stuff.
Facts.
Okay? That's our job. Our job is to learn each other every single day and try to fulfill each other and try to, you know, make each other whole. That's our jobs. That's what we in this thing for life.
For sure.
However, if you are dating and you tell that man, my car's so dirty. He ain't never got his last chick car washed ever.
Yeah, you're right.
So he don't know that your last guy got your car washed on the regular.
Yeah, no.
You're looking at the expectations and this perspective of what you have always had and what you think is normal and what you think is just like common man stuff.
Yeah.
And he looking at it as, oh, we just kicking it. Dang, your car dirty, mine too. Shoot. You need some gas too? Girl, maybe we can both go get some gas. You said, go get me some gas. And a part of dating and being in a relationship is making sure that you know that these are the expectations I have in a relationship. What are yours?
Yeah.
You know, I expect my man to keep my car together. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm gonna keep everything else together.
Yeah.
You know, those conversations will make way for you guys being open and honest and teaching each other what really get you going.
Yeah.
You know, your car washed, you got some gas in it.
Come on, boo.
What's up?
Yeah, I put the air filter in there too
Ooh,
for you, boo.
you did too?
Yeah, I did that.
Some stuff I didn't even know I needed, okay?
Thank you so much for joining us for the kickoff episode of season 2. Look, what we've learned is no matter what the culture is doing right now in 2025, we are each other's accountability partners to keep the dating scene alive, to block out all of that crazy noise, and to make sure that we see what is real. So tune in with us for part 2. We had so much to cover, we had to break it up into 2 different segments. So next Friday, part 2, let's see what we talk about next.
Cheers.
Cheers. We are finally here at season 2, and we could not have done it without any of you.
We're talking all stages of relationships, from dating to courting to marriage to reaching that forever status.
You are never gonna lose faith because we are in this with you. We are bringing all the true stories to the forefront, and guess what? This year we're coming back bigger, better, and stronger, and it's all because of all of you.
So stay tuned for what we're going to do next. We are on all platforms at I Am Finding Love, and be sure to subscribe to our website at iamfindinglove.com.
And do not forget, tune in each and every Friday as you keep asking us questions and we keep delivering the answers.
Baby, you're all that I need. No, I can't be what you mean to me. Make me feel complete. It's so deep.